Today is the Ichimoku review for Wednesday, February the 26th, and we didn't have any good news. It looked like we were off to some recovery, but I don't think anybody expected that it was going to continue in the direction of the open, but it actually reversed and went the other way. Volume, again, very, very high. There's a commitment here to selling. Advancers and decliners, 2-to-1 in favor of the decliners, but let's look at the New York Stock Exchange components only. And you can see that advances and decliners were 2-to-1, same as the overall market. Only 28 new highs, 352 new lows. The advancing volume and the declining volume, but by a volume of, that was about 4-to-1. Is that right? No, it's not. 303-to-1. So the declining volume was ahead of the advancing volume, 3-to-1. That, unfortunately, brings our stock market breadth indicator even lower. So we've set now, for the second day in a row, a new high for the year. Yesterday I told you I was going to go and get some data, back data. It would cost $40, and I really should do it because it would be interesting. So I can't commit that I'm going to do that, but that's the reason I don't have it today. I will give that a second thought. Now let's look at the charts. And something new that I want to introduce, and that's a list of stocks. So I told you that I have only 2 stocks, Apple and Caterpillar, and there's my positions. These are the big stocks in the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, primarily New York Stock Exchange, that we should be looking for opportunities when the market turns around to put some money into. Most, if not all of these, yield a dividend. So something that we would like to also consider in our search. It looks like I may have to do this. Here we go. So let's go back now to our watch list. And I've got a problem with my motive wave. So I'm going to shut it down. My apologies. There it is. So don't have to shut it down. But we're going to have to live with this here. It's just not responsive. Let me shut it down. The good thing about, oh, it would take too long to start back up again. The only reason it would take too long to start back up again is I would have to re-authenticate myself on the TD Ameritrade platform. So the market was down another 12 points today. This is not going to be a good video. I apologize. I may just cut it short. Apple was up $5 or $6 at one point during the day, and it pulled back, ended up with some aftermarket bump to $291, $3.06. We're below the cloud in the S&P 500, but look at the Chiku span. The Chiku span got support right on the cloud. That's really important. The fast-moving SMI is now down into oversold territory, but the slow-moving SMI is not. This indicates that there could be a mild bounce for 2 reasons. Number one, Chiku span on the cloud. We may also go down to the 200 before we get our bounce. So those are the 2 things we want to watch tomorrow. Chiku span on the cloud. Does that prove to be support? Or do we go down to the 200 and bounce there? Apple. This isn't Motiveway's fault, by the way. This is me. I've got too much running in the background. Apple was up $3.06. Caterpillar dropped $1.15 after moving up over 130. So moving it down, that's certainly some Chinese news. The Chinese are not expected to buy the amount of goods from the phase 1 deal that they said that they would do. Who the hell is surprised by that? If anybody was betting the bank on that, They shouldn't have. But Apple maintained the cloud support. That's really important. And we are oversold on the short-term SMI. Still got some room to move down on the long-term SMI, but that just as well could turn around. But look at the volume. Pretty strong volume today, bouncing that stock up. So that means that some big players, some institutions were doing some buying today. Caterpillar down $1.15. I'm going to put us out of our misery and make this pretty quick. AT&T down 35 cents. Remember that yesterday I sold out of all my AT&T. I would like to buy in again at 36.50 or 36. Whirlpool up $2.13. That's a consumer stock. That's interesting. So there's our chart for Caterpillar. We've lost the cloud on the Chiku span and the Kumo. I could look at the weekly, but I don't want to put you through that delay. So let's call it quits for today. We're going to spend a bit of time tomorrow looking at that list of stocks to keep an eye on to invest in. But right now, nobody has lost, the big players have not lost 5% from their previous highs. So nobody should be panicking and nobody should be rushing to buy the dip here because we haven't seen enough of a dip in the big players. If they're only off 5%, maybe 6% in some cases from their highs, they were probably overbought. And we probably want to wait for a little bit more of a pullback. Thanks for your patience.